Hey everyone, it's War here, or Eternal War. Got an NU battle against a guy called RRated000, or Harry, as uh, as he's actually called. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do this battle in one time speed because there's a lot of shit going on, and I really would like to actually have some time to talk about what I'm thinking and such. So yeah. Anyway, about Pokemon Black and White, I have got a ROM, a patched English ROM. I've had it for over a week. I've had it for ages now, and I haven't really played any of it because you have to get to the fifth gym to get your versus recorder, and you have to do all this sort of spazzy shit and all this hacking and poker saving, and it's just getting too complicated. So I'm just not gonna bother. But I might, I don't know, we'll see. So he leads out with his Pidgeot. I have my Scarfed like Mortar. I was thinking he'd switch, but I was so close to going Hidden Power Ice because I knew Hidden Power Ice would be a 2-hit KO, as would Thunderbolt. So I just go with Thunderbolt. Hidden Power Ice may have been the safer move because if he predicted the Thunderbolt, the Ice would have still hit the ground Pokemon pretty hard. But that sort of that turned out not to be a worry at all because he doesn't even have a ground Pokemon on his team. So he has a Power Herb, and he goes for the Sky Attack. That's not too worrying because I know I can probably live that. This Magmortar doesn't have any EVs and anything but speed and special attack, but he's got enough sort of 90 base, 80 base stuff to take a hit from mostly anything at full HP, which is exactly what he does. Later on in the game, it turns out my Winra having very little HP could have posed a bit of a problem, but it's not all that bad. So I'm gonna switch out obviously because T-Bolt will not be doing too much to that because it's a special beast. So I go to this guy who has got a lot of physical defense, and he gets a crit on his quick attack there. I didn't realize that during the game actually, but it's kind of funny. But anyway, so he withdraws, not wanting to take the earthquake, obviously because that would be silly. And so I take that chance there to set up my Stealth Rocks, predicting him to switch out. Now I'm worried here because three of my Pokemon on this team are weak to Ice, and he could Ice Beam or he could Surf. So I go to this guy praying he doesn't Ice Beam, and he doesn't do either of those two. He goes for Hypnosis, and it hits. At the time I was like, oh, gay, because then it's 60 accuracy for the win and whatnot. But he goes for yeah, that Hypnosis hitting doesn't really turn out to do much because, as you see, I get a second turn wake after this Ice Beam. I I was kind of just staying and hoping he wouldn't have the Ice Beam, betting on the fact that he wouldn't, but he did, so that was unfortunate. But luckily I get the second turn wake, which is freaking epic, and I get the Sleep Powder to hit, which has got 75 accuracy, which is a lot better than Hypnosis, but still, it could miss. So that hits, which is excellent because that thing's asleep now. And he goes back out to this thing. As I set up my Sun, I kind of guessed here that no, I thought in my mind he's going to go back to Flareon because that resists my Solar Beam and can also pwn me. So I went for the Sunny Day, and even if he wasn't going to switch, Sunny Day was still the best option because now I have my Chlorophyll, my 410 speed, so I'll be fast as hell. But I'm not. I want to keep this Victreebel alive because I need something to take on that Politoed, and that's exactly a perfect counter. Well, not really actually. It's kind of stupid because it has Ice Beam, but it's not a bad thing to have against it. So he goes for the quick attack, and I go to my Sand Slash, which was predictable as all hell, but it was the best thing to do. Now I'm gonna predict him to switch here, but I didn't go for the Toxic because I didn't know what he would have, so I decided if he does stay in, it's gonna do shitload this Earthquake. But if he doesn't stay in, it's still gonna do a fair chunk to whatever comes in. So the Earthquake, I thought it was super effective, but then I realized it's not because ground and ice, yeah. So in hindsight, Toxic would have been better on this thing, but that's just how shit goes. Now, I thought long and hard right here about switching out because he might have predicted my switch and gone for something different, and so that's why I was really not wanting to go to this thing here. But he said that was a misclick, that heal bell. And fair enough, I guess it could have been because he would have gone for an Ice Beam or a Surf or something. Oh, Ice Beam, not a Surf. instead of Heal Bell, but it wasn't the worst move because I was switching out, and that does mean his Politoed is now awake. This Crunch, I thought Glaceons were special walls, but I'm obviously wrong. They're physical because this Crunch does not kill it, and that really, really surprised me. And oh yeah, he used Yawn then, but he was meant to use Yawn when he used Heal Bell, which was kind of bad luck to him. But I don't think it. Oh, actually, no, it did because it wouldn't have meant I got a massive hit on this guy. I think if he'd used Yawn, it would have been a lot better for me to have used Toxic with my Sand Slash. But anyway, I only just thought of that. Now this is where my Magmortar not having much HP really came into play because if I'd had like say 150 more HP, around 100 or half-ish, I would have easily lived that and been able to go for a T-Bolt or a Fire Blast or something. I probably would have gone. Yeah, I would have gone for T-Bolt because he has Flareon and Politoed. But yeah, that's not the case. So I'm pretty much just sacrificing him in the end to get a free switch back into this guy so that he's not asleep. And if he had used Yawn, I would have left my Magmortar in his some sleep fodder as well. So I just go back at this guy knowing that the Crunch will kill from the range that he is at. And that is all good. Now I am wanting to keep right here. I thought long about this move too because the only reason he would bring this in is if he's Scarfed, and that was blatantly obvious to me. So that was why I switched out, because he would pack the T-Bolt, and it doesn't affect Sand Slash. I was thinking he may have predicted that, or he might have been bluffing the Scarf. There was so much going on there, and I was just like, come on, fuck it, just go for the safe move, and it worked for once. So and also I really want to keep my Sharpedo to take out that Flareon because it's auto kill with Earthquake and Hydro Pump and Aqua Jet and all that good stuff. So I predict the switch and go for the Toxic because obviously he said I asked him it is Scarf lol and he didn't respond obviously because you're not going to respond like that. And he said yeah it is afterwards, and so I know he's going to switch, so I Toxic whatever comes in. I was hoping the Flareon will come in, but he brings in the Politoed. Fair enough. It would have been much more obvious move because why would you bring the Flareon in because of Earthquake? So I predict that Ice Beam or a Hydro Pump or Surf actually, not a Hydro Pump, which really fucked me up. The Hydro Pump. If it had been Surf, it would have been alright, but it wasn't. So that was terrible. And I'm thinking right now that Politoed possibly specs. I don't know, but it definitely wasn't a bulky because that Crunch did a shit ton to it. Now if he hadn't, I was actually hoping that this Hydro Pump would miss, and it didn't. Like 85 accuracy. To be honest, I don't think I've ever had a Fire Blast missed on my Magmortar, so that's kind of fair. But I didn't use Fire Blast at all this battle. But either way, the Politoed goes down to Toxic. That really did it. That annoyed me at this time, but now I realise that thing probably was specs. I'm guessing. I haven't asked him, but yeah, if he had Surf, I would have been able to kill it because the Surf would have done nowhere near as much. So he goes with that guy. I predicted that, but he said he knew I'd switch out to the Sand Slash, and he misclicked it. He said he would have gone Gardevoir, but I was at the time confused why I go to Gardevoir because I didn't think it could pack any water moves as such. But as you'll see later, that's not the case. He has a anyway. So yeah, I thought about that move there, Earthquake or not. I was thinking he's gonna switch. I almost did Toxic. I'm so glad I didn't because that would have been dumb. He said he meant to go to his Gallade because it does pack the Ice Beam, which yes would have obviously been a better move, and I wonder if that would have changed the outcome of the match if he had bought out his Gallade. And to be honest, I would have probably stayed in because 3 Pokemon on my team are weak to Ice, so I would have just scouted him, scouted his move. Sorry, I stumbled on my words there. And so I'm gonna say that was a game-changing misclick right there on his behalf, which kind of really sucks when stuff like that happens. But anyway, so I go to my Espeon, my Scarfed Espeon, and I go for the Shadow Ball. He's only got 2 left. I'm like, what are the chances he has a normal Pokemon? But no, he has a normal Pokemon as his last. So yeah, I probably could have thought a little bit more about that and been like, he's not going to stay in because the Shadow Ball is blatantly obvious. I could have gone for a Psychic or something like that. But his last 2 Pokemon, my last 3, I wasn't going to start over predicting. You don't over predict early game, and you don't over predict late game. It's just in the middle where trying to get yourself ahead is where you predict. So I go to this guy just as death fodder and also to scout. I I'm guessing this thing will have Sucker Punch and Facade. They're the two moves. I already know half of its moveset straight off the bat as soon as you see Eradicate. And yeah. But I did not know it'd have Flame Wheel, and either way, Sucker Punch off. I was going for Sunny Day there, but Facade would have killed me, or Facade, whatever you want to say. So I go to my Scarf. I've got two Scarfers left. He doesn't know that this thing's Scarf till I say it is after it kills this thing, which is when he's like, oh damn, I should have gone for Sucker Punch. That Braver will take the Raticate out because it's got Raticate's pretty weak, and Pidgeot's not massively strong, but it's strong enough. So I'm really glad I got Stealth Rocks up this game because it did half damage to that Flare and it's done like a third to this thing. So I go for the Brave Bird here. I actually thought this wouldn't kill. I do get a critical hit, but I thought it wouldn't kill and that he'd be able to take me out with the T-Bolt and that I'd revenge it with a Shadow Ball from my Espeon and that'd be the game. But I get a crit there. He thought it didn't matter. I thought it did. It doesn't really matter, nor do I care. So yeah, GG man, it was a pretty fun match. We'll have to have a rematch. Maybe in a different tier next time, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, peace.